Alright, welcome back to Uncle Danny Cooks. We're going to make chicken soup today. Uncle Danny's chicken soup. As you can see in the background, we have some onions already prepared, carrots, celery. I have an onion here. I'm going to show you how I prepare it. Alright, what you need for this is chicken, onions, celery, carrot, white wine, olive oil, bay leaves, salt and pepper, and a little bit of garlic. And consomme and or chicken stock, if you can get it. We're going to start with the onion. I've showed previously how I cut onions. I like to go on the two ends, cut it in half, and peel. Alright, it is pretty simple, easy, ready to go. For the soup, I will either cut it in quarters or just keep it in halves. This time I'm keeping it in halves. It really doesn't make a difference. Celery. You're going to get yourself a head of celery. I like the celery greenery with a lot of leaves if I can get it, because leaves add a different element to the soup. So we're just going to cut this down all the way. There you go. So it was one whole celery bunch. Carrots, I get the little baby carrots. It's easier. I don't have to do anything. It's about 3 pounds of carrots. Onion wise, that's almost 8 pounds of onions. 1 celery. We're gonna have approximately 6 or 7 garlic cloves, and then the chicken. For this soup, I'm using some chicken legs that I got at a really good price. Anything on the bone. The bone is what's going to give you the good flavor from the marrow. So once you have all of your vegetables ready to go, your chicken is ready to go, you're going to move over to the pot, and we're going to start heating up some olive oil. Alright, I'm going to put my pot on high. I'm adding in olive oil. How much olive oil? Well, enough to coat the bottom of the pan. Here's what I go with. Okay, we're going to let that heat up a little bit. While that is heating up, I'm going to get ready. Now, while the oil is not hot, I don't need it to be hot. I am going to put in skin side down, if you can. If you don't have any, if it's skinless, it doesn't matter. But just, you're putting it down there into the oil. It's going to be the bottom layer at this point. And what we're trying to do is we're going to try to render some of the natural fat out of the chicken, okay, and get a nice flavor going there. We want, in the chicken soup, we want some of that, we want that chicken fat. That chicken fat is going to give us that nice flavor in the soup. Now in the end, you can, when the soup is cooled down, you can actually scoop out a lot of that fat, which will be mixed, the chicken fat and the olive oil. But we're going to wait until this comes up to a nice sizzle, and then we're going to go to the next step. Alright, so now we got that nice sizzling, bubbling going on with the chicken here. We're going to get our onions. Now, a lot of you are going to say, wow, Uncle Danny, that's a lot of onions. It is. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. My chicken soup is more of a vegetable soup with onions. I got the onions in there. I got the chicken in there. I'm going to get the celery in there. And as you can see, that pot is almost full, but we're not done yet. We can get our garlic in there. Now, as you can see, this is really full. And we got a lot of sizzling going on the bottom over there. What's going to end up happening is I'm going to start in a minute or two. We're going to add a little bit of wine, white wine, and we're going to let that simmer for a little bit, and then we're going to throw in the water. Now, we've got this nice and full. I'm going to throw in some bay leaves. Okay. Fresh ground pepper or pepper, doesn't matter. It seems like I'm using a lot, but this is a big pot. And a good pinch of salt. Or two. Now, if you're listening to this, you're getting a really great cacophony of popping and sizzling, and it's really just working. And the aroma coming out of here, it's the chicken sautéing, but it's also a little bit of onion in there, so it's just an amazing smell coming out now. I've used approximately half the bottle for this big pot. Half the bottle of white wine. We're going to let this simmer down, and then we're going to add water. And once we add the water, we're going to bring the temperature down to medium, and we're going to let it simmer. As the soup slowly simmers away, we'll continue to add water to it to make sure that we have enough soup. Basically, we are filling this up. Now, slowly the vegetables are going to start getting softer. There's going to be a lot more room, and you'll start to be able to stir everything up, and then we're just going to continue simmering this on low to medium heat for at least 4 hours. You want to get a nice deep flavor. Make sure you're extracting all the flavor from the vegetables. Okay, so we're going to let this simmer for a little bit. Alright, as you can hear, the wine is simmering. It's making a beautiful sound. I have a strong aroma now of the wine and the chicken and the onion now. And as you can see, behind my pot, I have another pot full of water. That's going to be my soup. So, without changing anything, I'm going to start slowly pouring in the water. Until it comes to the lip. Alright, so now we have this olive oil, chicken fat, wine, everything has come up to the lip. We're going to continue to keep this at high right now until it starts to come to a low boil. And then I'm going to move it down to medium heat, and we'll simmer at that for at least an hour until we stir it, and then maybe add a little bit more water at that point, and then we will bring it down to medium-low. Alright, it is boiling now. Now we are going to bring it down to medium heat. We're going to stir it in a little bit as soon as it evaporates a little bit, and then we will bring that, once it starts coming to a rolling boil on the medium heat, we'll bring it down to medium-low. Alright, as you can see, the soup is at a rolling boil. It has, it's already gone down in level. What I've done is I've stirred it, mixed everything up, I've added a little bit more water. This is where you're going to add the consommé or the stock. You're going to add what you think is best. I can't tell you how much. It really depends on how much soup you're making, how much. There's no ratio, and it depends on what you're using. If you're using, consommé or bouillon, it's going to be different than if you're using stock. But it's to give you that little extra chicken flavor. Okay, this is still on medium. I'm gonna be turning this down to medium low for another 3 hours. I'm gonna make sure everything cooks together. At that point, we're gonna stir it and we're going to taste it. If it needs a little bit more bouillon or consomme, I'll add that. Sometimes I'll add a little bit more water if the level got too low. Make sure I have enough soup, mix it up, and then we will go to the next step from there. Welcome back to Cooking with Uncle Danny. As you can see, the soup is done. It has been cooking for a total of 4.5 hours. All right, you can see all the vegetables are still there, but everything's cooked down, so we have a lot more movement. I've added water. I added the consomme or bouillon, whatever you want. All right, at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to turn off the heat completely, and we're going to let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes. Then we are going to get another pot, and a colander. And you will put the colander on top of the new pot, and you will pour out into the colander this soup. And what we're going to do is we're going to take out all the vegetables and meat in there, and we're going to be left with this beautiful broth. And then what you can do is you can pick out the meat out of this, and you can take whatever vegetables you want. You can make another soup with the vegetables. A vegetable soup. There's a lot to be done. But at this point, this is the Uncle Danny soup.